Hello, beautiful people. It is me, Tasha K. Gotta Stay, and today I am so excited to share with you a topic that I believe is going to be transformational for so many women, especially if you're the type of woman who feels like you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, especially if you're a Black woman, especially if you're an eldest daughter. If you fall into any of those categories, this is a message that I need you to hear. And when I first heard it myself, a part of me is like, yes, but then a part of me is like, what? So there are some areas where I'm really good at accepting it, embracing it, applying it. And then there's some areas where I'm just like, nah, we're going to need to do a little better than that. So what I want to share with you today is the Dutch concept. It's a Dutch concept slash mindset shift that they call the sixes mindset. And overall, it basically means good enough is good enough. So apparently in the Dutch school system, and I learned this because I was watching a YouTube video, and I watch the most random YouTube videos. So I clicked on this video of this Dutch woman explaining some of the perspectives in her culture that might differ from Western culture. And one of them was the sixes mindset. And she explained the sixes mindset as, you know, in the Dutch school system, they are graded on the scale from 1 to 10. And she said that over 80% of people, their goal is to get a 6. And the 6 is passing. And that even if they get a 5.5, that is still rounded up to a 6. And so the mindset that good enough is good enough. You don't have to try and get a 10 all the time. And the way that she explained it, she said that the families are happy with the 6, the teachers are happy with the 6, and the idea is that there are other things in life that are important too, not just your schoolwork. Your family life is important, your mental health is important, your ability to have fun is important. And I'm going to talk to you today about why there are some aspects of that mindset that I think would really benefit you when it comes to your budget in particular. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't necessarily adopt this mindset when it comes to my overall finances. I can still be a little bit still have that like hustle mentality when it comes to my overall finances and still be a little bit anal in that regard. However, when it comes to my budget, I am learning that we can relax with our budget a little bit, because it's not the case that you have to stick to your budget 100% of the time in order to be successful with it. And what I have learned and observed is that when people think that you have to have perfection around your budget, they don't experience as much progress. In fact, the main thing that they experience is frustration. So let's talk about some of the principles of the Dutch sixes mindset. We're going to work through 4, and per usual, I'm going to try to make this quick. But y'all already know this is not the place to come if you're looking for brevity. I'm here to talk and give you the information that you need to transform your finances. And with that being said, that reminds me, like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with somebody that you think would be interested in being able to experience their budget from the perspective of a different culture. All right, so number 1, good enough is good enough. Focus on producing results that meet the minimum standard. The minimum standard in your budget is to put more money in the bank than you did the previous month. All right. The goal here is we want to see that forward movement, that forward motion, that forward momentum. We want to see progress, right? The purpose of your budget is not to show that you can stick to it to the letter of the law. Your budget is to be used as a guide. Remember, you are the one that created your budget. You are in control of your budget. Your budget is not in control of you. Moving to number 2, avoid perfectionism. So we've already kind of hit on this, but we don't necessarily need to be perfect with our budget. All we need to do is use it as a guideline. Remember, progress over perfection. But the real thing I want you to understand about perfection is that it doesn't exist and it won't serve you, right? So And not only will it not serve you, it will be a disservice to you because it's going to cause you to be frustrated. You're going to feel guilt. You're going to feel doubt. You're not going to trust yourself because you are framing your budget, excuse me, you're framing your budget as something that you have to stick to all the time instead of as something that is a flexible, living, breathing document. And when you do that, you bring shame upon yourself. Or you dishonor your name. It becomes so dramatic. And it really isn't that dramatic. When you bring the drama and the antics into it, it is a disservice to you and your ability to move forward with your budget. And if you're not using your budget, you are not seeing the type of wealth and financial freedom that you could be. Number 3, iterative improvement. Deliver a functional solution quickly and move on. So the way that how I would think about iterative improvement from a financial perspective is, like we said before, wanting to see progress over time, right? So your budget, you can think about it as a document that is going to constantly being refined based on who you are, based on your lifestyle, based on what's going on at that particular time in your life. So when you are every single month is a new iteration of that budget. So it still has the same bones, right? The budget still might look the same, but this is a new iteration because every day who you are as a human being is shifting, changing, and evolving. So you can't expect you to engage with your budget the same way as you did when you first created it. So iterative improvement, I think of as refinements. So you should be refining your budget to be in alignment with who you are and what you want in every single moment, every single week, every single month, right? And maintaining the spirit of the goals that you have, right? And I like this idea of like the law versus the spirit of it, because when you look at the law, well, now you feel like you are enslaved or burdened by what the law is. But when you think about the spirit of it, well, now you get to feel more free in how you engage with it and how you interact with it. And I think that that's really important. This one I don't think is the last one I don't think is really relevant to what I'm talking about. So we'll just stick with those 3 core principles of the Dutch Sixes mindset, which is good enough is good enough, avoid perfectionism, and iterative improvement. If you are doing those 3 things with your budget and you are taking on a mindset that, looking at it from the Dutch perspective, and I think in our American minds, and she even said this in her video, that we're a lot more driven, right? We have a desire to accomplish something, right? We're going to go hard. We're going to go all out. And a part of me is just like, why would you only shoot for a 6 when the 10 is right there and you have everything that you need to be able to hit the 10? But sometimes it's not what you can do. Just because you can do it doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it. And the thing that I think you have to look at is, what is the energy expenditure and what will be the backlash? So a lot of the times where so many of us are trying to reach for this 10 because we forget to think about the backlash, which a lot of times is burnout, which a lot of times is frustration, which a lot of times is backtracking. Right? So we did all this work and then we got to the 10, but now we're burnt out, right? Or now we need this period of rest where we're not able to do anything. We're no longer able to optimize efficiently. Or do we think about all the things that we had to give up in order to get from that 6 to that 10? All of those things matter. That's called opportunity cost. What is the opportunity cost of the 10 versus the 6? So when you think about it that way, what you realize is that you're not really sacrificing the 10, but really the 10, all the energy that's going into you trying to be perfect is the thing that is causing you to sacrifice every other important area of your life. Your health is going to be sacrificed, potentially. I'm just saying hypothetically. Your relationships could be sacrificed. Your fitness could be sacrificed. Your time with your family could be sacrificed, right? So when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, in terms of what really matters, then you can begin to see that not only is it more optimal to chill out, but it also allows you to have more of all the things that you want in a more sustainable fashion. So even though we're talking about hitting a 6 with this budget, you're going to be maintaining this budget for much longer. It's going to be much more sustainable, and therefore it's going to be able to have a much greater impact on your overall life. So tell me what you think about this. What do you think about the Dutch sixes mindset? Is this something that you think you'll want to take on in other areas of your life? Is this something that you're just like, I don't think that this is for me because I am a high achiever and high achieving is what I do? And if that's you, you're probably the reason that I made this video, because I know what it's like to create your identity around achievements. And my personal opinion is that you don't want to tie your worth or your happiness to what you are able to do or what you are able to produce. You want to know that your worth and your happiness are both an inside job. They are intrinsic to who you are, and they can be found right now. You don't need any work to give it to you. You don't need any achievement to give it to you. The score on the page is not going to give it to you. All right, so now it's just a matter of being strategic so that you can have not only the financial future that you want, but the freedom that you want in all the areas that matter to you. So I hope that this video has been impactful and has potentially opened your eyes to a different perspective on budgeting. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. So with that being said, I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, you are not helpless, hopeless, or powerless. In fact, you are powerful beyond measure. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Gotta stay.